your tower shining through the trees. Crossing Shibuya, what a sight. Konnichiwa starts my day just right. Ramen bowls filled with
Guys, long time no see. I don't even remember the last thing I was doing on here, but I know it hasn't been long. It has to. I think I just didn't film yesterday, so I left you off and went to bed and then had a whole day, and now we're here again. Everything on my major to-do list is done. Yay, we love that. I just got ready. I'm not gonna lie, the outfit is outfitting. I feel like a little bat right now. Put on my big jacket, and then we're gonna go to a coffee shop, fries, and we're gonna eat dinner at the coffee shop because they have pasta that I really like, and I'm craving some pasta. I let myself kind of spend the day at home, but I knew that I was gonna go later in the day and do some stuff, so I think it's almost dinner time. Thinking like 4 or 5 hours we'll spend at the coffee shop today, working on random things. It is chilly here, but outfit is outfitting here. Wait. Look at this. Adorable, right? We love her. I feel like I had something else to tell you, but I'm blinking right now. See you there. We're applying to jobs today. Just applied for like 15 in person yesterday. Going right now to apply to convenience stores jobs. Yay, it's gotten to that point. And I have so many regrets of like, I should have just done this from the get-go. Just applied to this convenience store that's near my house. And all the places I've applied to, they just give me a QR code usually. And they're like, oh, apply online. But this one, for the first time ever, was like getting information from me. And I was like, of course, the one time I didn't bring my resume that I went and got printed out, so I should use it. Because everyone hasn't been needing it, but I was told they would. It's gonna be embarrassing because you know what? If they don't end up contacting me, and this is just a little embarrassing, this is my least favorite convenience store near me, so I don't ever have to go in there again. I'm gonna go back in there and be like, hey, you got all that information from me, but here's my resume. Because maybe that'll be a little more helpful. I don't know. At the end of the day, the only thing it's gonna hurt is my ego. And then we're gonna go to the like 8 others that are in my area. Yeah, wish me luck. I feel like I'm having exposure therapy right now. But after I'm done embarrassing myself for a good portion of the day, then we're gonna go and apply to jobs online at a coffee shop in Shimokitazawa, because after word to myself for this day is buying a new sweater, because I found a thrift store that's having a big sale right now. I was looking at it and I really like the sweaters they have. I've been a cold girl and I've been needing more layers. Although I will say today, surprisingly feels really good, so. So can we talk about it? Part of my bang being like lifted and interesting. I feel like it had to be announced that yes, I do see it. Why am I so embarrassed? Like that was so embarrassing to be like, hey, I'm back, this might be helpful. And I handed it to him, and at first he was like, oh, like I think I got all the information. And then he like is holding it and reading it. And he was like, oh, actually, no, I'll keep this. I'll put it away and contact you. And I was like, thank you. But why am I so embarrassed? Like, I'm embarrassed that I'm embarrassed, you know? One more thought on this subject is I have so many jobs. I've worked so many jobs. Like, why am I so nervous? I've been working since I was like 15, 14 even, I would say. I think I'm confiding in y'all for someone else to be like, no, I get it. So someone say, no, I get it. Next place they said was a no. They're not hiring. See, I don't know why stuff like that also embarrasses me. That I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll head out kind of thing. I do like that convenience store, so I will have to see them again. Just went to 4 more places. 3 of them said I need to call the phone number. I hate doing that. One of them said no. Oh, that's a lie. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure I went to more than that. 5. Because the 5th one, I was too scared to ask. We got another no, thank you. Okay, back into the store that I was nervous to talk to them because I was looking up. I was like, okay, let's be smart and let's start to head home. But let's make a round on a street that has a lot of convenience stores. So I looked up and this one makes the most sense. But it had the convenience store that I had gone into and I got too nervous to say anything because it was really packed in there. I stopped for a moment to tell you the rest of the story. So I just don't want to inconvenience them if they were like super busy and like just be asking questions and getting in their way. But I went back in. I was like, okay, it's not as busy right now. I got in line and asked the guy, ちょっと質問アルバイトの募集をしてますか? And asked him the question, like, are you hiring? I was like, oh, wait a second, let me ask. And I noticed that there was a lot of people in the store, so I was like, maybe they don't need people. But I was like, it is hella busy, so maybe they do need people. And I don't know what the other times of the day is like, because if I were to be working, I would be finishing up like right now. So who knows, maybe the earlier morning they need more help, or later at night they need more help. Anyways, he was like, oh, wait a second. He leaves, and the other lady at the front desk, checkout counter, was an older woman, and she goes, are you a native level Japanese speaker? And I was like, no ma'am, like my Japanese is not that good. I'm a student, I'm still learning. He yells out loud, she's like, oh, she can't speak Japanese super well. And I was like, sorry, I'm a student. This is all in Japanese. And I'm like, sorry, I'm like a student, I'm learning, I'm a quick learner, da da da. And then the other people that work there are all pretty much younger, except for the other guy who's older. You can tell he like works at like the food area. He like makes food in the back, and he keeps coming out and like putting stuff outside, and he's older. Anyways, but the rest look kind of my age. And one of them made eye contact with me, and he was like kind of like shaking his head at the old lady. And I was like, oop, okay. So in my head I was like already off to like a weird introduction, because the old lady's like, girl, you can't even speak Japanese. And I was like, after that, girl comes over to me and she goes, oh, wait a second, we do need help. Takes me in the back after a little bit of them helping people and getting situated. She takes me in the back to the little desk. I hand her my resume. We're going over my resume. We go over the days that I'm available, days and times. Give her all the time. She's like, okay, you're available a lot. It's best communication via email or call. I said both, and she's like, okay. That she's like, yeah, communication might be a little hard at first. She was just talking about like my level of Japanese, and I was like, yeah. Like, goes, well, we'll be in contact. We definitely need more people. And I was like, okay. So, kind of a sleigh. Okay, let's continue. Little break about the cuteness that is in some of these convenience stores is there's blind boxes for random things. So this one, there's a hamster, a bunny, or a chipmunk that fits in the palm of your hand, and they're like a little fuzzy. So that's adorable. And yeah, Hello Kitty or Kuromi or Choco. Many of those you can get. You can get ones that are different cards. This isn't in every store, but when I do see these, I'm like, this is adorable. Yu-Gi-Oh, JJK. Oh, and then these guys, these are different types of vehicles that are around Japan. They usually have like trains and stuff too. Little mini models, actual things that are around here in Japan. And I have one at my house, if y'all have seen it. I've gotten the train, and and I almost got a bus one time, but then I didn't get it. But yeah. Okay, just talked to another place. This one took all my information. I was like, oh, I can give you my resume, but the guy was like, oh, I'm not the boss. He's not here today. He's on break. He'll be tomorrow morning. And so he like took all my information. So he's like, yeah, I'm not allowed to take the resume if I'm not the boss. He's like, we do need help. He took all my information, like what times I'm available. I'm gonna give this like information to my boss, but if you want to come in person, he'll be here tomorrow at these times. So, promising. Say all of them really like when they ask me like, oh, like what's my commute time kind of thing. And I show my address and they're like, oh girl, you're right next door. And I'm like, yo. Though I'm not able to, I feel like, say exactly what I want in like the most professional way, I will say all of the people I've talked to, I can tell, appreciate that I understand what they're saying and responding, at least in a manner that like makes sense, you know? Because all of them are like, oh, okay, like you do understand what I'm saying. And I'm like, yes, I understand. I just can't answer you in the most fluent manner, unfortunately. Trying, guys. I don't think this will ever get super easy. Like, it's a little easier, but it's always gonna be a little like, every time, you know? And the next place, I wanted to give myself a breather and also drink some water. I'm thirsty, but I wanted to add that I think I've been doing good with my banter and talking to them a little bit. The place I mentioned that I was too scared to go into, and then I ended up getting to talk to the girl in the back room. I had to go away for a second. She's like, wait a second. I had to leave, go and help them with something. And then she comes back and I was able to be like, oh, it's really busy today, huh? And she's like, oh yeah, it's always busy at this time, da da da. I don't know, I can tell. And then there was like 2 other times that I got to like speak with someone that like something came up naturally and I was able to like kind of add a little extra substance to it that I feel like has been appreciated. I feel like they can feel like I'm not totally clueless. That's how I feel when, I don't know, when I talk in Japanese, because it's obviously not anywhere near fluent level, that when I talk in Japanese, if I'm able to add in a little bit more of it, some banter, and I don't know, it makes me feel more human in a way. I don't know, there's just something about not being able to speak the language that makes you feel a little stupid. Like I feel like people don't realize that my brain is working. Like I just don't feel like I'm fully able to communicate. I don't know. I think it's maybe obvious, but maybe not. But it's just discouraging at times for sure. 4 more. Yay! Oh, update. That one said they're not hiring right now.
Step off the plane, feel the breeze. Tokyo Tower shining through the trees.
Catching last train.
Konnichiwa starts my day just right. Ramen bowls,